What's up, guys, and thank you so much for popping into my review for the sequel, Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Fowl. Now, Wallace and Gromit have appeared in many short films, including their first feature film, which won the Oscar for Best Animated Feature Film in 2005 when the movie came out, Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. This one is yet again co-directed by Nick Park, and Peter Sallis is no longer with us to give us the voice of Wallace, so we have Ben Whitehead to replace him, and he sounds basically exactly like Peter Sallis. So he did an incredible job with voicing Wallace in this film. And the story of this one is we know that Wallace is an inventor, and once he invents something called the garden gnome or some kind of gnome that can do all of your stuff and all of your cleaning and everything like that, it gets its mind settings changed to evil by a penguin that Wallace and Gromit have stumped in the past. And now that penguin is out for revenge. This movie is awesome. I loved this film so much. The original movie, Curse of the Were-Rabbit, I think it's a good movie, but is it as good as like Corpse Bride, which came out that year? No. And Wallace and Gromit: Curse of the Were-Rabbit won the Oscar over The Corpse Bride. My vote would have went differently, but still, Curse of the Were-Rabbit is a good film. I think Vengeance Most Fowl is a great film. This film is entertaining from beginning to end. I think that the characters are just so charming. I've always loved Wallace and Gromit. I used to have the PS2 game for The Curse of the Were-Rabbit, so these characters have always just kind of been around in my life. I'm not like a hardcore fan or anything. I've not seen any of the short films, but that original film I did see, and I did rewatch in preparation, which is why I'm kind of giving you my updated thoughts on it. But this one, yeah, I just liked more. I liked the story more. In this film, you have a pure villain in this penguin character, and it seemed like they took a lot of inspiration from Batman Returns, where the penguin, he's in the zoo, but the way he gets broken out of the zoo just kind of reminded me of Danny DeVito's Penguin in his lair with all of his penguin sidekicks or henchmen. In this penguin controls all the gnomes. So they're like the penguin henchmen in a sense. So it reminded me of that a little bit. But the way that the story progresses and the end of it, I think that the final 10 to 15 minutes of the movie is great. The big climax of the film takes place it goes from a boat to a train, which the train goes over a bridge that if you fall off the bridge, you're not going to make it. It's just such a big drop. I mean, it looked really beautiful. The animation was incredible. That first film was brought to us from Aardman Studios, but of course it was also brought to us from DreamWorks. This movie is not a DreamWorks animation film. It's a Netflix film. Not that that really matters. It's just kind of something to add to it. The instrumental score is just as good as it was before. I love the Wallace and Gromit theme. Such a great, wholesome piece of music, which I really enjoy. And just the humor of it. I mean, there's so much adult humor into this. The story is so well written. It's so well made. Like the filmmaking at hand here is just so good. You can tell that you've got people that really care about these characters. Now, Gromit doesn't speak, but he's so emotive. And you know exactly what he's thinking. And he's the best sidekick, and he's the best dog character, one of the best dog characters in film. I think Wallace and Gromit are such a great duo. And yeah, this movie is just a great film from beginning to end. There's one problem I have with it, which is how the penguin actually corrupts the minds of the gnomes. That whole sequence was a little ridiculous, but once you can get past that, I think that this movie is a knockout, and I can definitely see it being nominated for Best Animated Feature. A lot of people are saying that the win is between Wild Robot and Flow. I loved Memoir of a Snail as well, and I also loved this. So honestly, I would give it to any of the four of them. But Flow, I have a review for it up on the channel now. I liked it, but it didn't really do anything for me other than kind of enjoying the watch. I would watch it again, but I just feel like this movie is so much more enjoyable. So, in the end of the day, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, I'm going to give 4.5 out of 5 stars. I loved it. And if you've seen my video for my picks for the top 10 films of 2024, you can pop this in mentally as one of my honorable mentions in that list. That's how good this movie is. That's how much I liked it. And I'm so happy I had the chance to see it. So, guys, comment down below. Did you see Wallace and Gromit Vengeance Most Foul? Did you see the original movie? Leave that down below. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I got a bunch of reviews coming in the future for A Different Man. I believe that's the Sebastian Stan movie he just won a Golden Globe for. Will he get an Oscar nomination for it? We'll have to wait and see. Also, Daniel Craig in Queer. These last little 2024 movies that are sneaking through to be able to see where the Oscar nominations come out in 1 week. We'll see how it all pans out. And guys, you can follow me on Twitter and or X on Ranking72 and Instagram and TikTok at KingArises131. That's been it for me. Thank you so much for watching my review for Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul. And until next time, over and out.